Bienvenidos! Welcome everybody! One of the most difficult aspects while learning Spanish is verb conjugation. Some of the most common verbs are irregular, but there are also many regular verbs that follow a specific pattern. Today I want to show you how to conjugate those regular verbs. They are composed of two main parts, the root and the ending. The verbs in Spanish can end in AR, ER, and IR. And with regular verbs, you replace either of these endings with conjugation patterns depending on the number and person you're talking about. We'll take a look at examples for each category and their endings. Usar means to use, and it's a regular AR verb. To conjugate it in past, for yo, I, we're going to take the AR piece and replace it with an E and the accent above the E. So it becomes usé. Usé. For tú, the informal you, we're going to replace AR with aste. So the full word becomes usaste in the past tense. Usaste. For usted, the formal you, él, he, ella, she, we're going to replace AR with the O and the accent above the O. And the full word becomes usó. Usó. For nosotros or nosotras, which means we, we're going to replace AR with amos. So the full word becomes usamos. Usamos. For vosotros or vosotras, the plural you in some places, we're going to replace AR with astéis. So the full conjugation in past tense becomes usasteis. Usasteis. For ustedes, the you plural, ellos or ellas, they, the AR is replaced with aron. So the full verb in past is usaron. Usaron. In present tense, for yo, we're going to replace AR with o, so the full verb becomes uso. Uso. For tú, we'll replace the ending with as. So the full verb is usas. Usas. For usted, él, or ella, we'll replace the AR with a. And so the verb becomes usa. Usa. For nosotros or nosotras, we'll replace the ending with amos. So the present is usamos. Usamos. It's actually the same as in the past tense. For vosotros or vosotras, we're going to replace the ending with ais. So the full verb is usáis. Usáis. And for ustedes, ellos or ellas, we'll replace it with an. So the verb becomes usan. Usan. And in future, we'll replace AR with are for yo. So the future verb tense is usaré. Usaré. For tú, we'll replace it with harás. And so the full verb becomes usarás. Usarás. For usted, él, or ella, we'll use hará. And the full verb becomes usará. Usará. For nosotros or nosotras, we'll replace the AR ending with haremos, and the full verb becomes usaremos. Usaremos. For vosotros or vosotras, we'll replace AR with haréis, and so the future becomes usaréis. Usaréis. For ustedes, ellos, and ellas, we'll replace AR with harán. And so the future becomes usarán. Usarán. So you can use the endings with any regular AR verbs. And just by switching the AR on the verb with any of these endings will give you the correct conjugation for the pronoun. Let's take a look at a regular ER verb, comer. For yo in the past tense, we'll replace ER with the I and the accent. So it becomes comí. comí. Tú will replace ER with iste. Comiste. Comiste. For usted, él, ella will use I and O with the accent. So it becomes comió. Comió. For nosotros, nosotras, we're going to use imos. So it becomes comimos. Comimos. And for vosotros or vosotras, we'll replace ER with isteis. Comisteis. Comisteis. And for ustedes, ellos or ellas, we'll replace ER with ieron. Comieron. Comieron. In present tense, for yo, we'll replace ER with O. No accent there. Just the letter O, so it becomes como. Como. For tú, we'll use ES. Comes. Comes. For usted, él, or ella, we'll use E, and so the word becomes come. Come. For nosotros, nosotras, we'll replace ER with hemos, and so the full verb becomes comemos. Comemos. For vosotros, vosotras, we'll change it to eis, so the full verb becomes coméis. Coméis. For ustedes, ellos, ellas, we'll replace ER with en, and the full verb becomes comen. Comen. And in future, for yo, we'll replace ER with ere. Comeré. Comeré. For tú, we'll use eras. Comerás. Comerás. For usted, él, ella, we'll use era. Comerá. Comerá. For nosotros, nosotras, we'll use eremos. Comeremos. Comeremos. For vosotros, vosotras, we'll use eréis, and so the verb becomes comeréis. Comeréis. And for ustedes, ellos, ellas, we'll use eran, and the verb becomes comerán. Comerán. And the third verb type is the regular IR verbs, and we'll use vivir, which means to live. For yo, we'll replace IR with the I and the accent. Viví. Viví. For tú, we'll use iste. Viviste. Viviste. For usted, él, ella, we'll use I and the O with the accent. Vivió. Vivió. For nosotros, nosotras, we'll replace IR with imos. Vivimos. Vivimos. For vosotros, vosotras, we'll use isteis. Vivisteis. Vivisteis. And for ustedes, ellos, ellas, we'll use ieron. Vivieron. Vivieron. The past endings for the ER and the IR verbs are actually the same. In present tense for the IR verbs, we'll use just O for yo. So the verb becomes vivo. Vivo. For tú, we'll use es. Vives. Vives. For usted, él, ella, we'll use e. Vive. Vive. For nosotros, nosotras, we'll use imos. Vivimos. Vivimos. For vosotros, vosotras, we'll use is. Vivís. Vivís. And for ustedes, ellos, ellas, we'll use en. Viven. Viven. Some of the endings are the same as the ER verbs. The differences are in nosotros and vosotros. In future tense, for the IR verbs, we're going to replace IR with re for yo. Viviré. Viviré. For tú, we'll use irás. Vivirás. Vivirás. For usted, él, ella, we'll replace IR with irá. Vivirá. Vivirá. For nosotros, nosotras, we'll use iremos. So the verb turns into viviremos. Viviremos. For vosotros, vosotras, we'll use iréis. Viviréis. Viviréis. And for ustedes, ellos, ellas, we'll replace IR with irán. So the verb becomes vivirán. Vivirán. I hope these charts are helpful. There's no easy way to know if a Spanish verb is regular or irregular, but you can start with the top Spanish verbs and go from there. I have a couple of videos in the channel already with the verb conjugations in past, present, and future, and I'll leave you with one of those videos next. Muchas gracias.